Hey Flosstube, it's Julie, the Gulf Coast Stitcher. Today's Thursday, May 24th, and I thought I would stop in for a quick video. Just a little life update. My dad is still in the hospital, so there's still lots of travel, and I really appreciate everyone's patience with my response time and getting back with everybody. I try to get back with everybody every day, but some days are harder than others with that. I just wanted to run through a few things for the shop and a few purchases and stitchy update and just a regular video. So let's start with, I guess, my acquisitions for this month, who we're kidding, for the past few days. In the mail, many of you have probably seen Ginger Gerald's lovely interview with the designer, Xjudesign from Xjudesign. I guess Xjudesign because it's Judith. But I've been obsessed with her fabrics and her floss for a while. I just want all the fabric. I know I don't need any more, but it's lovely. So I'll show you what we have going on. The lighting's weird, as always. Today, it's really dark here. As many of you know, it's hit or miss. We have a storm in the Gulf. Not all the way into the Gulf yet, but they're saying that it may develop. It's just going to be a rainmaker. We're used to that here on the coast, but it's crazy. It'll be raining, and then it'll be sunny and raining and sunny, Florida. Anyway, this is 40 count Grandpa's sleeve. I adore this. So what I think I'm going to stitch on this, and I've been torn over what it would be because it's so unique. It has... The light's not really showing you quite. It's kind of like a natural linen color, and then there's some like yellow splotchy, and then there's some splotchy that looks like maybe it would be like oil or something. I don't know. I love it. I'm going to stitch this chart that I purchased from Beth Twist. This is available in the shop. Trying to keep the glare off of it. This is called Some Trust in Chariots. And it says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And honestly, with all that's going on with my dad and just how crazy my life has been, that just really spoke to me. So I'm going to stitch this in honor of my dad and all that he's going through and has going through. And I know that while this is a really stressful and rough time to look back on, I know that it'll be filled with a ton of memories, but this will be a good one. So I thought that would look super cool on this. And, I don't know. So that's what's going to happen with that. So I kind of gave you a preview of a shop chart and my fabric. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The smell of this fabric just is to die for. This is 40 count Newcastle linen in sampler green. Now, if you look at my previous videos, I think it's willow green, which is like a lighter, dustier green, and this is a little richer. I'll hold it back a little bit. You can kind of get a better representation. It's just fantastic. Like, I have no idea, again, what I'm going to put on this. I normally stick with and stitch on neutrals, but I just can't resist. Her colors are not gaudy, if that makes sense. So love that. So there's my Xjude, my two linens. I always say, oh, I'm just going to get one or two, and then I get one or two like every couple weeks. It's really sad. I constantly check the Etsy shop to see if there's a new color that got uploaded that I wasn't notified about. Sad. Sad but true. Okay, so then I thought I would, but she usually sends, especially if I make a sizable purchase, she sends like a free couple, 2-3 yards of her hand-dyed floss, because she hand dyes the floss as well as the fabric, and she uses textile inks, which are just, they're awesome. So it's funny too, because the one that I really love, she sent me a gift of, which is amazing. Okay, so here's my gift ones, and this is, one's on DMC, so I love that she did this. It's called Long Coffee. One's on DMC, and one is on matte, which is a different floss that I've never used before. Matte is super soft. It's cotton, and it's a little bit fuzzy, Like, I don't know how to describe it other than to say that it's fuzzy. Like, this is DMC, so this is like got a higher sheen. It's more what we're used to using. And then you have this matte base. But I'm into it. I'm going to try it out. So I love this long coffee color, which I actually purchased a long coffee color. So I was happy that she sent me that. So I got Black Raven. And these are all 8 meters, which is like 8.7 yards, it says. There's Black Raven because always need black, always stitching blackbirds. Black Horse. And this is a matte base. So you can see the fibers are like thinner. If I can get it where you can see it. And super soft. I don't know how to describe it. Odds are if you purchase some awesome fabric, maybe you could put a note in that you would be interested in trying a sample of her matte floss. Did I say Black Raven already? Yeah, I got 2 Black Ravens. Both. I got 1 DMC, 1 matte. So showing them side by side. Oh, no, they're both DMC. This is Buttermilk Cake. Because, I mean, try to get the light. It's better over on this side because I have a light right here. There you go. Buttermilk Cake. It's kind of like a really super light buttery yellow. Long Coffee, which I've already bought one of these, and she gave me the samples. It's a variegated brown. Chestnut Bark, which this is like a green. A really dark, rich green, which this is fantastic. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's variegated and gorgeous. Old Beggar, because I love my blackbirds, my ravens, my crows. I think I already know this is going to go into the blackbird design, the pincushion with the bird wearing the hat and the scarf. I'm at a loss for the name of it, but yeah. And then Dark Soil. So I clearly was in the mood to buy earthy, neutrally darks, but that happens. I think I had just gotten my Victorian motto, and they were kind of more bright, so I was like, we'll go with something different. So staying along the lines of floss, I've heard tons and tons and tons of people talk about Silks for You. So, I bit the bullet without a whole lot of arm twisting, and I ordered a few hanks. I ordered hanks of like a wineish red, a tealy green, and jet black. Because a hank is a lot, and I thought, well, those I use over and over and over again. I use them in samplers. I use them in monochrome pieces. Those I'll use. Well, she does have like little sampler packs too, which are awesome. But the only thing about these is that if you love a color, who knows what it is because nothing's tagged, which she discloses at the beginning when you purchase them. But this one I unwrapped. One I've got unwrapped, one I don't. But here's a beautiful, this is like, I would say this is close to 321. So we all need that, right? This green, I've already unwound it. I mean, could you just die? Can you say Christmas all day long with that? And these silks are luscious for sure. I don't stitch a whole lot in silk. I've only done a few things that come with kits. Pink. Here's another one that I've unwrapped. I'm not sure there's a trick to get it back how it's supposed to be, but this is kind of like schneckly, like it's like goldy green. And I mean the sheen, I don't know if it translates on the screen to you, but the sheen is like, wow. It's almost like a metallic. It's crazy. I see what all the rage is. And then she does a lot of, how would you say, like carnival-y, cotton, candy-ish, pastel, super crazy variegateds. But in the right chart, like if you're doing flowers or you're doing something which is charted monochromatically, but you like the color change, this is another one that's almost like a metallic. It's crazy, crazy good. Purpley color, like a prim baby blue color. Love this. This is not picking up how it looks. This is like oh, that's good. That's about right. This is like a milk chocolate. or chocolate milk, if you will. A yoo-hoo colored. It's wonderful. And then this is like the lightest, faintest of lilacs. But again, it's so silky and shiny. So they come from overseas. They shipped relatively quickly. And yeah, I'm probably going to throw lots of money their way because I love the value. The thing that I don't love, which is just on it, it's just true of any online shopping until you have established enough of a purchasing history, is that I'm not 100% confident in their colors, how they translate on their computer screen to what we actually get. But I'll know because these, when you order these, you don't get any, it just says like random selection. So you don't know what you don't have a preview of what you're going to receive. However, I'll be able to compare the red, the green, and the black that I just bought with the pictures on their monitor. And if they're close and good, I'm good. I'm golden and I'll buy a buttload of those. And this is the other pack. I didn't unpack these yet, but you can see this whole kind of palette, I guess, is very like coastal waterish. So I definitely have places that I'm going to put these silks into my charts. In fact, there may be enough between, I don't know, Robbie, what do you think? There may be enough between these to rechart the mermaid fractor, because I'm thinking like these three, these three and some of these blues, it might work. I haven't had a chance to really take a look. It's been a hectic few days. It's been a hectic few weeks, but that's okay. All right, so that's my silks for you. I was so flippin' excited to get those in because, you know, I've just graduated so much. I've things have changed in a few years on my stitching, so I'm, you know, super excited to have something new to acquire all of the things of. Other awesome purchases. Okay, so if you may or may not know this about me, but I am a super fanatical Frasier fan. I'm a super fanatical Kelsey Grammer fan. If you liked Frasier remotely, he had a second show that came out that was called Back to You with Patricia Heaton. It was phenomenal. He's a news anchor. It had the guy, I forget what his name is, who plays Dumphy on Modern Family. He was a news anchor on there. It was just hilarious. Fred Willard was also on there. It was a great show. Anyway, so I'm a super crazy Frasier fan, and every once in a while, Frasier things pop into the universe for me, and look at this. It's Eddie on Marty's chair, for sure. Like, there's no coincidence that that's not supposed to be Eddie on Marty's chair. So it's a pin. It came from Europe, but I'm going to have Dan snip off the back, and that's going to be probably one of my favorite needle minders, because that, I mean, in the sky, I mean, can you even stand it? Look, they even have the Space Needle, which just occurred to me. I'm not going to throw this card away. I'm fanatical about it. And you can find a few screen printers. I don't know why I'm at a loss for words today. You can find a few screen printers that still print like Frasierisms or like little funny things from the show on shirts. I don't have any of those, but I know they're out there. Then my other purchase, let's see. Okay, so this I got yesterday because I was so stressed out when I was leaving the hospital. I was like, my dad doesn't seem okay. Something doesn't seem right. They had moved him to a private room, which we all thought was, you know, an improvement. But then when I saw how he was behaving and acting and feeling, I was like, there's not an improvement here. Something's definitely not right. Come to find out, he has really low blood pressure, which can change. He had high blood pressure coming in. Now it's low just for, I don't know, whatever metabolic reasons. So they're like, called me while I was on the bridge, Pensacola Bridge, driving back home, which is a 3-mile bridge, and it's stressful traffic anyway. And then they were like, we're going to move him back to ICU, which I actually, you know, people have expressed their apologies and they're, you know, feeling bad about that for me. I'm actually happy that he's back in the ICU because there he has a dedicated nurse that only has him as a patient. So that makes me feel better. But anyway, on the way back from there, I was just like, all stressed out, and that long bridge ride with the crazy traffic. So as soon as I got onto the mainland, I was like, I just need to get out of the car and walk around and gather myself. I'm having my turtle moment. Sarah, you understand that moment. And there's a thrift shop, which I never stop in hardly because I don't have great luck in thrift stores. But I did, and I stopped, and I found this for $1. So Vera Bradley, which, for some reason, Stitchers quilters, we seem to like Vera Bradley. They're lightweight. Her totes are really versatile and stuff. So $1, and it's a coupon. It's supposed to be like a coupon book, but I'm thinking, and it looks absolutely brand new. Like, it's the white. If you have Vera and it gets dirty, it's obviously used, but this looks completely brand new. I'm thinking it came with a bag that somebody never used it. So, even though it's for coupons, which I won't use it for, I used to be an extreme couponer, like extreme. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you can go way back in the archives and see the mass amounts of stuff I got as an extreme couponer. My best extreme couponing trip was $795, and I paid $11 in cash, and I got 50 free Redbox coupons. Yeah, it was crazy. It used to be extreme couponing was my jam, but then I obsessed over cross stitching, so it's different. I don't know what I'll put in this, but there has to be some kind of stitchy accessories, accoutrement, something. Maybe scissors, maybe just a notions pouch. This could even really hold a small, because back here, this is pretty, like, it's a hand with, it's probably like 5 or 6 inches deep. So I could probably in this back pocket even put like a small folded chart, small something. I don't know. I couldn't pass it up for $1. So I got that. My last acquisition actually was last week or the week before, and I discussed it in my video, but I realized I left it upstairs and didn't show you. But this is from the Addicted Sisters, Laura's shop. Her and her daughter have a shop on Etsy that's called Love You More. And this is a book sleeve, or like a book snuggie. I'm not sure what the legit name for it is, but it's amazing. It's puffy. It's this one, I think, I don't remember the name of it, but it's all oceany, and I loved it. So my Kindle Voyage, boom, safe in the snuggie. And I actually use this all the time. It's not just a purchase that I got because I'm supporting a Flosstuber. That's how it started, because if you sell stuff, odds are I'm going to buy it. Michelle Garrett's going to buy it. If probably we can talk Heather, the Perfectly Imperfect Stitcher, into buying it, because we support each other. That's what we do. Well, sometimes the purchases aren't so great, and sometimes they're life-changing. That's So Kelly Co's Bitsy Bob. I can't wait to buy another one. Y'all bought them all. They're sold out. She messaged me and said, thank you so much. And she said, I'm going to be putting up different fabrics, different sizes. So if you want to wait a little bit before you buy one, that's awesome. I went to her site and they're all gone. So I hope she's working on them because I love them. But back to this. I bought this and I thought, well, it'll keep it safe in my purse. I don't take my Kindle in my purse a whole lot because when I'm on the go, I listen to audio a lot. But I do read my Kindle in bed. And then when I go to bed, I close it because it's got like the auto shut off. And I slide it under my like farthest away pillow because I'm worried that I'm going to knock it off into the floor of the night. But now I just slide it in this and either set it on the edge, the upper edge of the bed or the nightstand, whatever I can reach at the time. And I don't have any concerns. If it hit the floor, it's very padded and very nice. So she's always adding new fabrics. I love, love, love this. The only thing I have to say is, Laura, I need to see something with a bird on it. If I see these with birds on them and flowers and like the romantic classical fabric patterns, I'm going to get more. So put a bird on it for me, please. Love it. Okay. So that's it on purchases for myself. I'm going to have a little bit of shop haul, not too much. Royal Wedding. I don't know why I didn't wear my fascinator, but Robbie made beautiful fascinators for myself and for her other friend who came to her house. Robbie and I stayed up all night. I got there at her house at about 10:30. We stitched through the night. Her friend came over about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We watched the wedding. We had the most delicious quiche and cinnamon rolls and banana bread and fruit salad. And I came home about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was one of the best nights. So we're totally needing a stitchy sleepover again, where there's no sleep involved because that takes away from stitching. But I'm going to show this chart because it's a freebie on the Stone Street Stitchworks site. So I did the royal wedding. I changed the colors to what I felt were royal colors. It was pewter, gold, and navy, and I added navy, pewter, gold, and I added red. So I didn't change it too drastically, but. And I did this on fabric flare, even weave, parchment. I don't have a good place to, like, I always feel like I'm ducking so I can see. It's not showing you how bright and beautiful this is, but the colors are popping. It's great. I love it. I'm going to finish. What I hope I find is like a small round frame. That's my goal. So I know they have a ton of round frames these days at Michael's, so I'm going to check there. I'm going to check thrift stores. It is, I'd say, I don't know what size it is. 5 by 5, pretty much. So I'm going to find a circle frame, like a gilded circle frame. I think that'd be so pretty. So with fabric flare, for those of you who don't know, it's digitally printed on one side, and that freaks people out. And I don't know why you're not showing the back. So it's this one's digitally printed to like look all old and paperish, but the back's white. Which I actually kind of think is cool because sometimes when you buy the prints, if you don't love it, you can flip it over and use the white side. I think that's a good idea. So that was my stitch. I'm working on Sally Spencer, and I had a horrible moment. Like, I've done the first 3 rows of letters. I've done some of the stuff on the side. I'm doing the bottom, or my right side, so I guess the chart's left side. And I got to the bottom and things were way wonky. But I wasn't smart and just did the border first. I did the border and all the motifs all the way down and was benchmarking those motifs off of that flower vine. And then when I got to the bottom and nothing, I mean, it was off by, I think it was off like 6 stitches. So everything was shifted. And at the bottom, you know, there's 2 flower pots. They were like this. I was like, crap, I'm going to have to do something. So I started trying to frog it, but I'm talking about, this is a lot of stitching. So I just said the heck with it. And I got my bow and scissors out and I snipped all those stitches out. And then I lint rolled the bejesus out of that fabric. And it's still, you can see, I'm stitching on vintage, 40 count vintage buttercream, and you can still see where the stitches were because the color come off a little bit, but I'm going to just let it go because what did I say a couple weeks ago? Like, instead of stressing about the imperfections, I just think, what would I tell that little girl? What would I tell Sally Spencer? Would I be like, oh, your work is ruined. That's horrible. You know, no one's ever going to like this. Or would I just say, hey, it's a personalization. You'll remember when that happened. I will remember sitting there cutting all those stitches out, exactly what I was doing. And it has a perfect touch of me on it now. So, yeah. So I'll update some pictures on Instagram of that. I didn't bring it over here. Okay, that's all of my personal business. That's all my life updates. That's all of my stash enhancements. Now let's talk shop. Some of this I may have showed you because honestly, I don't know. I've been trying to add it as it comes in so that it's not sitting here waiting for you guys, but all right. I'm pretty sure I showed this. I don't know. I have 2 or 3 of these left. This is a floss pack. I don't want to open it because I sticky sealed it. But you get 12, I think. I feel like it's 12 Classic Colorworks and 1 DMC, and the DMC is 3371. If you stitch anything, you're using 3371. I think next to 310 and white, it's in ecru, it's the #1 thing in all the charts that I use. So there are some beautiful colors in here. I don't have one that's not sealed up, but I do know that Morning Glory is gorgeous, and Cherry Cobbler is gorgeous, and English Ivy is gorgeous, and you'll need all of those for something. So whether you're stitching, that goes with Lila Studios Grow a Garden. If you're not doing that and you're not doing that style, I'm telling you, that's a good deal on those fancy flosses and you'll use them for something. Stacy Nash Primitives. This is Redbud Cottage Pin Keep. I thought that was super cool. I like the colors. It's all DMC. Yeah, I like it. Make it your own. Do anything you want with that. It would be so cute. Here's the Lila Studios chart I was talking about, Grow a Garden. So, let's see. Jenny the Long Dog Stitcher, Tiffany Express Life Tifa, and somebody else, I'm sorry, I don't know, are doing a sal for this. And it was Jenny's first acquisition of Fancy Floss, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, I think I probably showed that last week, but it's cool. All right, after I've had so many inquiries and questions about this, I know you guys are going to be excited. This came from Teresa. Shakespeare's Peddler Basket of Red, White, and Blue. So this is so cute, and she has a video about finishing in this little drawer. So it's actually like a little wooden drawer that you can buy just the drawer at Hobby Lobby. So I think that's so cool, and it already looks kind of grungy like that. I mean that in a good way, Teresa. She's going to do basket series. So if you buy that little drawer at Hobby Lobby, you can use it over and over again because she's going to put out other, I know what the next one is, but I will not tell you. She's going to put other really awesome baskets out so that you can purchase them, stitch them, and put them in. So I have both chart only and kit. Kit comes with, I'm sure that's Weeks linen, but I couldn't tell you 100%. It comes with all the floss you need, it comes with a button, and it comes with the linen. And it's a very affordable way to get all of the goods. So I have just charts and kits in that. And these also were very sought after, people asking me. I did receive the new hands-on design. The next 3 in the Christmas ornament series. So Luminaria Lane, Christmas Eve, and Noel. And I will go ahead and tell you, these, I almost showed you the chart. These are gorgeous in this teal, like frosty colorway. But I am totally going to do them in red paint and hickory sticks. Because I'm a classic Christmas decorator. I don't really do like this light blue color. And I can't wait to stitch this one like that. This one in like, I don't know what all colors I'm going to include. I'm going to change the greens up. I'm going to totally change the church. I'll follow the chart, but I'm just going to change the colors. I can't wait. Maybe I'll do the actual church part in roasted marshmallow. My stomach is growling if y'all hear that. That's definitely me. Loads of fun. So this is part 2 in the Laundry Company series. So cute. I love the little baskets and the clothespins. And I like how she has it finished. It's simple and easy, and anyone can finish that. And what's cool about this finishing is you could pick up any thrift store frame, any size, any shape, and put your little cording on there and put your little pins and hang your finished piece. Finish it on mat board or corrugated foam board, and there you go. I mean, any frame will do. It doesn't have to be the same dimensions as this. It would still look awesome. So I love that. That's a great job on that. I have in stock the 97 Prairie Fairy, which is the cleaning fairy. And I didn't get that at first until I read the verbiage. But yeah, she's got her little apron going on, her mop, her cleaning bucket. So cute. Welcome to the Forest Deer. I'm really surprised there hasn't been a higher demand for these yet. Maybe we're just not in the Christmas mood right now, or like the wintry mood, but these are super cute. And I won't stitch all of these because, again, it's just not my typical color palette, but this has little mushrooms and a little deer. So, and I can put this, see, this is what I'm talking about. I could totally This right here could totally be my take to the hospital. Look at that. Boom. Put that in there with a small piece of fabric. That's awesome. Okay. Now I just justified my purchase. See how I did that? Now I'll justify buying this too. That's how it works. All right. I got back in stock. They had sold out, but I got back in stock the Festive Little Fobs Americana edition. I may have mentioned this in the last video. I'm sure I did. The silver dollar finishing tutorial that Beth Twist does is fantastic. If you're not a finisher like me, you're intimidated by it, it doesn't look like it could be any easier. I haven't tried it myself yet because I haven't stitched any of these, but I don't have a single scissor fob, and I feel like once I start fobbing, it's going to be Fobapalooza around here. Okay. Yeah. So my dear friend Jody in Australia is such a lovely customer, and it's nice. I think it's nice for her to have an American shop that she can say, hey, can you find this for me? And then she can just bingo bango one-stop shipping, because shipping's expensive to Australia, and it varies so greatly from depending on where you live. I had another customer that I quoted the same shipping that I give to Jody because I charge actual shipping. I'm not somebody who marks shipping up. And it was like double to get to the other lady. So I learned my lesson about that. And that's why if you're an international customer, my shop does not have international rates. You have to, I have Canada because Canada's pretty close across the board for cost. But you'll have to just message me privately on any of the places and give me your name, address, phone number, and postal code, and then I can tell you the exact shipping, and then we can just have you do your order that way. It works out. So Jody had contacted me and was like, hey, I was looking back at some, different heartstring samplery charts, and I was going to see if you could find them for me so I can just have it all shipped together. And I love Beth Twist. I love heartstring samplery. And what I love more is like the older charts. I like the new stuff, but the older charts are more my style because they're more prim, I feel like. Like there's definitely a style change between Bee Garden, which just came out, and the Some Trust in Chariots chart that I just showed you. Like clearly, whether it was an evolution for Beth or for her customer base, whatever, or just trying new things, or probably branching off into designing her own things. But that's cool. I love it all. So when Jody was like, can you get some of this other stuff? Well, of course I can. Number one, it gives me an excuse to buy it for my own stash enhancement, and I can order some extra copies for the shop. So most of what you will see here, she ordered and has in her package, and so do I. So here we go. Pincushion Street. Don't let the title fool you, Pincushion Street, because this chart is 151 by 140. So if you're just craving some heavy coverage, mindless stitching while you're watching maybe the latest episodes of Ozark on Netflix, see what I did there? See that, Robbie? And you just need something to be able to stitch your way through, Pincushion Street, while it in no way, shape, or form is a pincushion, is an awesome chart for you. So this is on the site. I showed this earlier, and I love these older charts that have the photograph on the front. I don't know, that's just so nostalgic to me, how far we've come in printing in just such a short period of time, that I love the ones with the photos. So I told you I'm going to be doing this one on Grandpa's sleeve, which I will be starting as soon as I finish Sally Spencer. If I ever finish, I have done more work. I have never had a chart. Sally Spencer has been the chart that I have to redo the most stuff on. I'm sure it's because I'm distracted, but this is Rachel Holmes. This is such a crazy cool sampler. I mean, oh my gosh. It is an original design by Beth Twist, which is why it's so amazing, I'm sure. But, I mean, she just took the band sampler to the new level with this one. And Unity Sampler also has a photograph. Beautiful sunflowers. So the picture is really tiny, but this is 321 by 95 because Beth doesn't really do a lot of small things. Well, I shouldn't say that. She does giant and she does fobs. So there you go. Find your happy place with her stuff. Pomegranate birds. Because birds, those colors are amazing. Even this one's 150 by 121 and it looks deceptively small. Like I would think that stitched area would be like 5 by 7, but no. Maybe if you did it over 1. Don't think so. I did get in, I didn't show it because how would I show it? But I copycatted off my friend because that's what we do. And I ordered a LED magnifying, like put in front of you and stitch under it lamp. And Dan hijacked it to read his Diesel truck magazine last night. And he was like, I can't believe I can see every single thing. I don't think he realized he couldn't see up close as well until he had that. So I didn't even use it last night because he looked at his magazine through it. And hey, he tolerates a lot of cross-stitch stuff in his house, which was totally masculine, has been taken over by all of the stitchy stuff. And he did tell me, this is kind of funny. He was like, honey, your stitching corner, because I don't have a stitching room because all of our bedrooms are occupied. He was like, your stitching corner is getting a little ridiculous. It literally looks like some sort of controls command center. I have my Lowry stand, my Ott lights behind me. Now I have the magnifying lamp. I have my table to the side. I have my Bitsy Bob on the arm. I have my chart on this arm. I have my blanket over my lap. I mean, anytime I need anything, it's like, I have to like maneuver my way out of my stitchy spot once I settle into it. So, but I think it's great. He thinks it's kind of funny, but he tolerates it well. Hibernation Day. Do you like how I just go off a rabbit trail? This chart, I'm sure the picture doesn't do it any justice. This is 105 by 328. I can't wait. Although I hesitate on a lot of like wintry charts because like all the snow things, we've gotten snow twice in 25 years, I think, here. But this is real cute. I just love the colors. And it only has Gentle Arts, mulberry, shaker white, mustard seed, old hickory, piney woods, and pecan pie, and that's it for colors. So I think I have every one of those except for mustard seed. So that's cool. I'm into that. And then this is the last Beth Twist heartstring sampler design. And I just thought it was so cool. Roosters and acorns. And I think it's cool that it's roosters and acorns and it's stitched in blue corn. I don't know what Beth was thinking, but it's genius. I was just like, okay, blue roosters and or acorns are not blue, but it works beautifully in this chart. So I'm thinking I'll do this with the Xjude Long Coffee. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe even on the sampler green. Oh my gosh. I just had a brainchild. All right. Part 2 has been released of the Glendon Place. I'll show you the back. This is the Spooktown sampler. So this was chart 1, which I have in stock on the site, which is the gazebo. And then they release 4 parts at a time. So this is the new released. So this is so cute. Poltergeist, Pokey, Barbershop, Hardware Store, and Mystery Meats. Look at that. That's so cool. There's a rat. And I like how when it's done, it kind of looks like a quilt. Like Jennifer, Whistle Stop Stitcher, I kind of think that even though this looks cartoony and in the way it's depicted, Glendon Place charts are phenomenal when they're finished. And I mean, I feel like I could see you really making that something amazing. How cool would it be on a quilt, like with actual quilted blocks between it? It's a great idea. I have great ideas. I just don't ever like execute them. But hey, that's why I'm typically in management and leadership, right? All right, so the next The last little run of goodies are Lizzie Kate. You heard it right, Lizzie Kate. How I'm doing this with distributors is, for some reason, when they sell out of this Lizzie Kate stuff that we're never getting again, they don't take it down. So I just try to get some stuff. I'm not a huge Lizzie Kate stitcher, but I recognize the importance of acquiring these charts that you'll never be able to get again at a reasonable cost. I recognize the importance of that because there's a lot of Prairie Schoolers out there that I want. There's a lot of Charlie Harpers, which, by the way, I found a seller on eBay who had almost every Charlie Harper chart that I wanted, and they were all like $7.99 each. So we'll see what I get when I actually get them. I feel like they're legit because they were just one-offs. They didn't have multiple copies of them, and she had a few other she didn't have a ton of charts. If you watch Kitten Stitcher, you'll know that Teresa has recently purchased the Santa Rides chart off of eBay and quickly figured out, because she's a genius, it would have slipped right by me, that it was an illegal copy, and she's going through all the proper chains to have that seller dealt with and hopefully just removed from eBay, because that's awful. And I think I found it on eBay. She didn't disclose who the seller was, and I'm sure if I asked her she would tell me, but she didn't put that out there. It's not necessary to, but I'm pretty sure I figured out who it was when I went to eBay to look for the chart. This seller is charging like $50 a chart and is selling one after the other because they're reprinting. Anyway, all that aside, I hear Dan coming home. Flora Mix Samplers. Flora Mix Sample Treats. This has the embellishments. Some do, some don't. It's just, I get what I get. Thankful Sampler, also with embellishments. This is an oldie with the photograph on the front. Flora Mix Sample Stockings 2015. So I was never, ever going to make mini stockings. And then Linda Jo happened. So now I have to do all the mini stockings. And Robbie doesn't know this yet. Robbie's my good friend who's not on Flosstube, but totally should be, because her stitching and her house is like it's gorgeous. All her stitching is amazing, and she's a super awesome, crafty, stitchy friend. We're in guild together, so you hear me talking about her all the time. She lives in Niceville, which is like an hour's drive for me, but I don't care. I would drive 2 hours. She's awesome. Why did I bring up Robbie? Because when I stitch all of these little, whatchamacallits, I'm going to try to talk her into finishing them for me. She probably will. Flora 2014 stockings. These are so cute. Look at the red bird one. And this has the beads. Also, I have never put a bead on anything in my life, so I'm a little intimidated, but I can do this. Tiny Tidings, chart number 145. I feel like people have kind of slowed down on the Lizzie Kate freakout, but I'm telling y'all, it's not over, because when the supply finally dwindles completely from the distributors, eBay's going to go berserko. Look at these. These are my favorite. This is 2013, and this is my favorite stocking collection. I love this one. It's quilty. I'm going to say this. I know they say never, but I just don't have the space to quilt. Oh my gosh, that scared me. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I just got a birthday notification on my computer, and it scared the lights out of me. Tiny Tidings. Again, this is chart number 140. Flora Mix Samples 2016 treats with embellishments. I think I like the Flora Mix Samples because they're like a little more primish and not as cartoonish. Tiny Tidings 155. Love those. So those are all the new Lizzie Kates. So that's all the new stuff. I have something else I'm dying to show y'all, but so I have a chart that's an exclusive to a floss company. I'm not going to show it today, but I'm going to tell you that it is coming, and it's gorgeous, and it contains 28 fancy flosses, but they were out of stock of one color. So, yeah, I'm sitting on these charts and the floss packs minus the one color because I don't want to be weird and not sell a complete set. But know that that's coming, and they're gorgeous, and they're Christmas. So pretty soon, when we're in the dog days of summer and we're struggling, and it's a zillion degrees, the stitching Christmas stuff, it's gonna help us. I wanted to share with you one other thing, book review. It's audiobook. I have basically tried to push this off on every single person that I know, because that's what you do when you find something amazing, right? This on Audible is free. It's an Audible original series called West Cork, and it is a true crime docu audiobook. So it's interviews with people, it's interrogations with people. Danielle Stitcherista my phone looks so gross. You will absolutely love this. It's kind of graphic at times, obviously. But as I was researching it last night, it's a true story. And, the murder victim's name was Sophie Toscan du Plantier, and this is her picture. So that's a picture for if you watch this and you go listen to West Cork, I just wanted you guys to have a picture of her in your mind while you listen, because Sophie Toscan du Plantier was a victim of a horrible crime. And it is twisty and intriguing and fantastic, and it's in Cork County, Ireland. She was found murdered in a very remote area. She's French. She was married to a French movie producer. She was super, super wealthy. Of course, what happens... Oh, here I go. I'm getting all flustered. What happens to victims of crimes, especially women, sorry guys if you're listening, this is true, is very quickly the media, and I don't know why this is, I would love to know the psychology behind this. The media can quickly start to turn on the victim. Like, well, what was she doing there? Was she meeting a man? What is her social life like? Why was she not with her husband? How dare she be walking out in a country that she doesn't live in on vacation where she was without her husband? This must be her fault, right? I mean, she must have been engaging in some kind of risky behavior for someone to attack and bludgeon her, right? It's real frustrating. But the young man and the young woman who direct and conduct this series brilliantly are aware of this. So they don't automatically take that approach. They're aware of it, they recognize it, they point it out. They don't necessarily take that approach. So it's fantastic. I was texting Michelle Bendy Stitchy yesterday when I was fixing to leave the hospital, and I was like, girl, you have to listen to this while you're driving in your car. It's spooky, but it's not too spooky, so you won't be freaked out. But then I was like, if this is fiction, it's brilliant. If it is a true story, it's still brilliant. So I did the research, and so Sophie Toscan du Plantier is... I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know if we ever find out what happens to her. I do want to caution you that if you research this too much, there is a bonus episode to this web series, and it calls it an Audible True Crime web series, although it's recorded as an Audible book. Each chapter is an episode, so as you get to it, they say episode. You hear like little credits rolling, and then it's like episode 5, episode 6. There is a bonus download, so be very careful that you don't accidentally download that instead of the actual series that says it's a bonus episode spoiler. So I'm kind of thinking that episode is going to tie up all the loose ends, and I don't want to know that right now. I am on let me see. I think I'm on like episode 7. And I was so excited about it because, you know, like when you find anything that you love, I'm 5 hours in. I've got 5 hours to go. Also, for my Audible friends, today's Thursday, May 24th through tomorrow, or maybe tonight at midnight. I think it's through the 25th, so probably through midnight going into Saturday. They have a ton of buy one, get one frees. So when you log into Audible, you need to check the ticking banner across the top, and there's a little arrow where you can slide through all of their deals. They have some Greg Isles, which I discussed. They have some Gillian McMillan, which is a good mystery. I download a lot of mystery. I go between just regular fiction, historical fiction, and mystery. But I was able to spend 2 credits and get 4 books yesterday on audio. So that was great. And they're good ones. They're not like obscure, never heard of, which are sometimes on sale. So I thought that was cool. So West Cork, give it a shot. Be prepared to not want to stop listening. I had that like cruddy drive home with all the stress in the phone call. And then I got to the driveway. I was like, I'm going to have to sit in the car and finish this chapter if it doesn't finish. But it timed out for me pretty well. But it's been a long time since I've had an Audible book that I literally was like, I don't want to get out of the car until they finish talking. And it's so good. It's chock-a-block full of interviews with people who may or may not have seen Sophie during her stay in Cork. Without giving you too much away, like I said, she was on holiday from France. So it's a very small town. It's a coastal town. The neighboring town's name is Skull. Legit, that's the name of it. It's not something that they made up because being the nerd I am, I researched it. But it's good. It will keep you hooked. So a great listen while you're doing housework, driving in the car, or cross-stitching for sure. So that's it. I love you guys. I'm headed to the hospital shortly. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your kindness, your support. As always, I'm always so happy to see new people purchasing things from the shop. Yeah. It's been a crazy few months, but I love every one of y'all. I'll see you soon.